I have a few questions for you. What happens when a courtroom becomes a stage? And what happens when faith and science and press all meet under one roof? Those are the questions that sat at the heart of the Scopes Monkey trial in Dayton, Tennessee in 1925. I think about it a lot because years ago, I was in Miracle on 34th Street. I played Fred Gailey, the lawyer who stands up in the courtroom to defend Santa Claus. That trial was fiction, but it worked because of the theatrics, because a courtroom became a stage. The Scopes trial was real, but it carried the same energy. At its core, it pitted William Jennings Bryan, the great orator and defender of traditional Christianity, against Clarence Darrow, the sharp witted lawyer who pressed for academic freedom. Yet the arguments didn't stay in Dayton, they spilled into the headlines across the nation. The Baltimore Sun asked bluntly, "Is Tennessee afraid of truth?" The New York Times pushed back with, "Shall science or the Bible rule the classroom?" And the Chicago Tribune warned readers of the peril of dogma in the classroom. Those weren't small town notices, they were national flashpoints. Brian believed that the trial was more than just about biology. To him, evolution threatened morality, and stopping it was defending the nation's Christian roots. Now, Darrow saw it differently. He argued that banning evolution meant banning honest thought. His cross examination of Bryant turned into theater itself. At one point, the crowd was less like a jury and more like an audience, leaning against every single word. Reporters picked up on this drama. The Atlanta Constitution wrote that the trial resembled a revival more than a court proceeding. And radios carried the words beyond Tennessee, making it one of the very first trials that Americans could follow live. That mix of performance and belief in modern media is what made it unforgettable. But the Scopes trial also left scars. It deepened the divide between rural and urban America, between fundamentalists and modernists. Each side claimed victory in its own way. But the trial showed just how much cultural tension sat beneath the surface in the 1920s. It wasn't only about what teachers could say, it was about who could define truth for the nation. John Scopes was fine in the end, but everyone knew the bigger fight was over. Just like Miracle on 34th Street used a courtroom to ask whether Santa was real, the Scopes trial used a courtroom to ask how America could balance God and science and even education. And those questions are still being asked today.